I'm going to talk about the day second PU chemistry blueprint 2023. So let us see the blueprint of second PU chemistry 2023. So first, that is physical. As you know, chemistry in second PU it is divided as physical, inorganic, and organic chemistry. In first physical chemistry, the first chapter, that is the solid state you have. So it is teaching hours is 8 hours for physical chemistry, that is the solid state chapter, and it is 8 marks is there for this chapter allotted. In that 20 questions, in that 20 questions for 1 marks is there, means part A 20 questions 1 mark. So for first main 1 mark question is there from this chapter, and part B, that is 2 marks question is there one for this chapter, and part B D 5 marks question 1 is there from this chapter. So totally it has 8 marks, 5 2 plus 1, that is 8 marks from this chapter. Next, second chapter, that is solutions. Total teaching hour is 9 hours for this chapter, and this is also 8 marks is allotted for this chapter. In that first main 1 mark question it has 2 questions, and another second main, that is also 1 mark question, it has 1 question. So totally 3 marks here, plus again 5 marks 1 question is there from this chapter. So totally 8 marks from this chapter, and that is also in part D, 5 marks part D. In that section 1 question is there from this chapter. So total it is 8 marks from this chapter. Next, third chapter from this physical chemistry, that is electrochemistry. This is the working, means teaching hour is 9 hours, and the marks that is allotted, total marks for this chapter is 8 marks, in which 1 marks is there for from first main, that is 1 mark question, 1 question is there, and 1 question for third main, that is it is for 2 marks part B, and 1 question again from part D, fifth main, that is 5 marks question, 1 question is there, totally 8 marks from this chapter. And next fourth chapter, that is chemical kinetics. It has 1 question, means it is working total teaching hour is 9 hours, and 9 marks is there for this chapter. In that 9 marks, first main, that is 1 question is there for 1 marks part A, and part B, part A second main 1 question is there for 1 marks, and also it has part B, that is 1 question is there for 2 marks, 1 question is there for part D 5 marks. So total it has 9 marks is there for chemical kinetics chapter totally. Next is fifth one, surface chemistry. 6 marks is there for this chapter. In this 6 marks, 1 question is there from part A first main 1 marks question, 1 question is there for 1 marks, and 1 question part D part D fifth main 5 marks, 1 question is there, totally 6 marks is there from this, means from this surface chemistry chapter. Totally from this group 1, that is physical chemistry, from this chapter the total working hour is 41, means teaching hour is 41 hour for this chapter. Marks allotted for this chapter is means total all chapters, this physical chemistry 5 chapters, total marks allotted for this group 1, that is physical chemistry, for this group total marks is allotted is 39 marks is allotted in the question paper. Next is group 2, that is inorganic chemistry. Here first chapter, means that is sixth chapter, that is general principles and process of isolation of chemical elements. 5 hours is the working hours for this chapter, or teaching hours also you can say. Only 4 marks is there from this chapter, that is part A 1 question is there for 1 marks first main, and part C the 1 question is there for 3 marks. So totally 4 marks is there from this chapter. Next is 7th chapter, that is the P block elements. It is 11 hours is the working hour for this chapter. In this 11 hours, 11 marks is also allotted for this chapter. In these 11 marks, 1 mark is for first main 1 mark question, 1 question is there, and second main also, that is 1 mark question part A 1 question is there, part C 3 marks question, 3 questions are there from this chapter. So total it will be 9 10 11, so 11 marks is there for this chapter. So totally 11 marks is there for 7 chapter, the P block elements. Next, the 8 chapter, that is the D and F block elements. 9 hours is the teaching hours for this chapter. 9 marks is allotted for this chapter. In this 9 marks, part A, first main 1 marks question, 1 question is there from this chapter. And 1 question from part B, 2 marks question, third main 1 question is there. Part C, 3 marks question, that is fourth main. That is 2 questions are there from this chapter. So totally 1 mark, 2 mark and 6 mark. Totally 9 marks is there from this chapter. So totally 9 marks is there from the chapter, the T and F block elements. Next, 9th chapter of that is of inorganic chemistry. 9th chapter, that is the teaching hour for this chapter is 7 hours. 7 marks is allotted for this chapter. 1 mark, 1 question is there first main, and 2 questions are there for 3 marks part C, fourth main. So totally 3 6 marks, 1 question 7 marks totally. So if for group 2 inorganic chemistry, here the total teaching hour is 32 hour. The total marks allotted for this inorganic chemistry, all the chapters, 4 chapters, is you get 31 marks from all this chapter. And next, group 3, that is organic chemistry. Here the 10th chapter, that is haloalkanes and haloarenes, 7 hours is allotted for as teaching hours for this chapter, and 7 marks is allotted for this chapter. 1 mark for first main, one question for 1 mark first main, and 1 question for second main, 1 mark part A. 1 question for part D, sixth main part D, that is 5 marks. So total 5 1 1 7 marks from this haloalkanes and haloarenes chapter. Next is 11th chapter, that is alcohols, phenols and ethers. From this chapter, 8 hours is the teaching hours for this chapter. 8 marks is allotted for this chapter, in which part A has, that is first main, it has 1 question for 1 mark. Part A, as you know, first main is for 1 mark, and part B, 1 question is there for third main, that is 2 marks question, and part D 5 marks questions, sixth main 1 question is there. So totally 5 2 plus 1 8 marks is there for this chapter, are alcohols, phenols and ethers. Next, chapter 12, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. 9 hours is the teaching hours for this chapter. 8 marks is allotted for this chapter, in which 1 mark for means 1 question is for first main, 1 mark question, and 1 mark means third main 2 marks question. Part B 1 question is allotted, and for 5 marks 1 question is allotted. Part D sixth main. So totally 8 marks is for this chapter. Next, 13th chapter, that is amines. 6 hours is the teaching hours for this chapter. 6 marks is allotted for this chapter, in which 1 marks is for means 1 question is for first main, 1 marks part A. 1 question is for part D, sixth main, 5 marks. So in okay, so totally 6 marks is for amines chapter. Next, biomolecules. 7 hours is the teaching hours. 6 marks from this chapter. So 1 mark means 1 question for first main, 1 mark. 1 question from fifth main, part D, means fifth not sixth main, part D, or 5 marks 1 question. Totally it is 6 marks from this amines chapter. Next, biomolecules. It has polymers. It has 5 hours is the teaching hours. 5 marks is the total marks allotted for this chapter, and that is also from part D, sixth main, 1 marks 1 question for 5 marks. So totally 5 marks from this polymers chapter. And chemistry in everyday life, 5 hours is the teaching hours. 5 marks is allotted as different like this, like second main 1 mark, 1 question for 1 mark. Third main part B 2 question as 2 marks, that is totally 4 marks, totally 5 marks. So in this, if you see for inorganic chemistry, You have 47 is the teaching hours. Totally you have more chapters in organic chemistry. 45 marks is the marks you will get from this organic chemistry group 3. And if you see here, from this group 3 means in this all, if you see from group 1 physical chemistry will not get any questions for part part 4, part D 6th main, and part C 4th main. For 4th main and 6th main you will not get any questions from this group 1 physical chemistry. And group 2 inorganic chemistry, you will not get any questions in 5th main and 6th main, that is part D. You will not get any question from group 3, second, that is inorganic chemistry. And group 3 organic chemistry will not get any question for part C 4th main and part D 5th main. For these both you will not get any questions. And if you see more questions for part D will be fifth, for part D 5th main will be from physical chemistry, and for part D 6th main it will be from organic chemistry. And in this, if you see total hours, that is 120 hours is for teaching hours for all the chemistry, means for chemistry, and 115 marks is separately allowed, means 115 marks is there for this inorganic, means for this chemistry. And in that 15 marks is for part A first main 1 mark question, and part A second main 1 mark question 5 marks is there. Part 3, the means part B third main 16 marks is there, that is 2 marks question. And part C fourth main 3 marks questions, it has 24 marks totally. And part D fifth main 25 marks is there, 5 marks question. And sixth main 30 marks is there, totally 115 marks you are getting. In this, if you see for passing student, if you study some of the concepts like inorganic chemistry, or some of the easy chapters like polymers, amines, some of the easy chapters like solids also 5 marks 1 question, easy it is, you can easily get that marks. And 1 mark question is also easy, and 3 and 2 marks question is also easy, so 8 marks you can get easily from the solid state. And you can get easily from the another chapter like amines, biomolecules, polymers, chemistry and everyday life. From these chapters you can get easy marks. So if you try these chapters, you can get passing marks. Okay. And guidelines is that question should not be ambiguous and answer should not be available in the prescribed textbook. Okay, answer should be not like how there is in the textbook. And no application type of questions part A, all should be knowledge based or and moderate. So no application questions are there in part A. And part B, parts in part D, 40% question or knowledge based, 40% or moderate questions, and 40% or skill little bit difficult level is there. And question should be selected from respective chapters for particular question number, and you should write question number correctly. And part A first main is for MCQ 1 to 14, and part A second main is the fill in the blanks. Okay. And part B, C, D or previous year guidelines, that is for 2 marks, 3 marks and 5 marks, as I said, that is answer the following only. So this was the blueprint of chemistry. So if you study solid states and amines, biomolecules, polymers and chemistry in everyday life, you can pass in the chemistry. For passing student who think passing is difficult for us, you can study this chapter and pass in the chemistry. So okay friends, see you in my next video with some other topics or some other chapter explanation. So if you think my video is helpful to you, please give a like, please give a comment if you need any study materials help and the study question papers, and also please share my video with your friends so that my video will be helpful for them also. So okay friends, see you in my next video, and then take care, have a nice day, bye my dear friend.